On 23rd May 2021, Elamaram Karim, Rajya Sabha MP from Kerala, wrote a two-page letter to President Ramnath Kovind wherein he requested the President to recall the administrator of the Union Territory of Lakshadweep. On the same day, hashtag Save Lakshadweep trended through the day on Twitter and other social media platforms.
ലക്ഷദ്വീപിൽ നിന്നും വരുന്ന വാർത്തകൾ അതീവ ഗൗരവമുള്ളതാണ്.
എന്തായാലും ലക്ഷദ്വീപിലെ
A large section of Kerala, including celebrities, politicians, social media users, and the general public, is angry about some of the changes brought about by the Union Territory's administrator, Praful K Patel. Praful K Patel, formerly Gujarat Home Minister, is considered close to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah. The administrator of Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, Patel took charge of Lakshadweep in December last year. Interestingly, Patel is the first politician since independence to be appointed administrator, with all his predecessors having been civil servants. Of the 36 islands that make up the Union Territory of Lakshadweep, only 10 have a human presence. The overwhelming majority of Lakshadweep's 65,000 odd people are Muslims. The changes Patel has brought about since taking over in December 2020 are alleged to be destructive and said to be targeting its largely Muslim population. The BJP has however said that they are only meant to end corrupt practices of other politicians. Here are some of the decisions of Mr. Patel which have been controversial. Patel has introduced the Control of Gunda Act in the island territory where the crime rate is very low. The Control of Gunda Act allows arrests without warrants and facilitates long detentions. This is said to have been introduced only to make people insecure so they don't protest against his dictatorial regime. The decision of Mr. Patel's administration to ensure that boats and dhows from Lakshadweep will now only head for Mangalore in neighbouring Karnataka instead of their traditional destination of Beypore harbour in Kerala's Kozhikode district is also being criticised. The islanders speak Malayalam and are culturally connected to Kerala. Beypore port has been the link between the mainland and the islands for generations. Now it is alleged that the administrator is trying to sever the link between the island natives and Kerala. According to the people of the island, the unplanned and unscientific altering of the standard operating procedure has led to the current surge in COVID cases in Lakshadweep, where not even a single case was reported in the year 2020. The mandatory quarantine for people entering the islands from the mainland has been done away with, and now only RT-PCR negative reports are required for entry. Due to all this, Lakshadweep has now seen over 4,000 cases with over 20 deaths already as on May 2021. Further, the pressure on the health infrastructure of the islands has increased manifold, leaving the population vulnerable and worried. After taking charge, Patel has reduced the powers of the island district panchayat. Matters related to education, health, agriculture, fishing, animal welfare were brought under his exclusive control. One of the new proposals being considered by Patel is making any person with more than 2 children ineligible to contest panchayat elections. This seems bizarre because Lakshadweep has a fertility rate of 1.4, one of the lowest among all states and union territories of the country. The major criticism is with regards to the setting up of a new body, Lakshadweep Development Authority, with powers to acquire land for development purposes. It is alleged that it is aimed at usurping people's land. The new law gives the administrator powers to remove or relocate islanders from their property for town planning or any developmental activity. The authority will get huge power to take over land without protecting the interests of landowners. There is a move to develop roads as per national highway standards in an island group scattered in the sea and with a combined population of just under 70,000, which is not even close to the population of an average district in India. Patel's administration has decided to eliminate non-vegetarian food from the menu of Anganwadi children. Another area of concern is the ban on beef proposed under the draft Lakshadweep Animal Preservation Regulation. This move has contributed to the unrest in the Union Territory, where Muslims make over 90% of the population. As per the draft, no person shall directly or indirectly sell, keep, store, transport, offer, or expose for sale or buy beef or beef products in any form anywhere in Lakshadweep. With Muslims making up the majority of Lakshadweep, the consumption of alcohol was banned on the islands in accordance with the religious and cultural beliefs of the community. Liquor was allowed only at resorts in the uninhabited Bangaram Island. But now the norms for serving alcohol at resorts are being diluted. As part of tourism promotion, resorts in populated islands will also be allowed to supply alcohol. Over 2,000 temporary government servants have been sacked in the past 6 months, even before completing their tenures. 38 Anganwadi centers meant to provide nutritious food to children and pregnant or lactating women have been sealed off. The tourism department has fired 109 employees under the administrator's orders. All this was done on the plea that these Anganwadis and posts were redundant. But many islanders fear the agenda is to fill the posts later with non-Muslims from Kerala and Karnataka. Patel is also alleged to be targeting the fishermen of the islands. The sheds where fishermen used to keep their nets and other equipment have been demolished by the new administration on the grounds that they violated the Coast Guard Act. The temporary buildings which were earlier constructed under an exemption given only to fishermen by the administration are now being demolished without any warning. There are several other controversial proposals being considered by Patel. In response, Patel has said that the Lakshadweep Islands have not witnessed development in 70 years since independence, and his administration was only trying to develop it. In the end, actor Prithviraj Sukumaran summarized the entire affairs conclusively in his social media post. When an entire community is unhappy with decisions taken by a nominated authority upon whose posting the people there had no say, and they vociferously bring it to the attention of the world and their government, I would like to think there is no way other than act on it. So please, to whomsoever it may concern, do listen to the voice of the people of Lakshadweep. Trust them to know what is better for their land. It's one of the most beautiful places on earth with even more beautiful people living there.